Now, next, let's kick it on down to Fayetteville, where Arkansas is back on the field after a long spring break, cut their spring camp in half here. And fascinating revelation here, something that I hit on with John Neighbors when he was on the show about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Go back and check that out if you missed it, a preview of the Arkansas Razorbacks spring camp. And the revelation, according to Sam Pittman, he was on ESPN Arkansas Hit the Line here on Tuesday. Malik Hornsby getting some looks at receiver, which I know a lot of fans are excited about. But to me, this goes back to the fact that we've just got to get all the playmakers on the field we can to surround KJ Jefferson with talent. The receiver position is a question mark for the Razorbacks. I know everybody's hyped up about Jadon Hazelwood, but I got to be honest. When I went back and studied all Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma to get a sense of the talent that South Carolina's getting in their new quarterback, I figured I'd kill two birds with one stone, get a look at Hazelwood. I'm already, there was somebody, I can't remember who, but someone has got Hazelwood as a preseason All-American, and just based on what I've seen, that's ridiculous. I would say that at Oklahoma, he was about the third or fourth best receiver. Now, he was injured a lot. He was banged up. And even here in Fayetteville, he's practicing with a non-contact jersey this week. So, they're doing what they can to keep him healthy because they are certainly going to need him. But I say all that to say this. I'm not trying to trash him. I'm just saying set your expectations. If you think he's another Treylon Burks, you're kidding yourself, because from the day Treylon Burks stepped on campus there in Fayetteville, he was arguably the top player on the team. He's going to be a first-round pick here in a couple weeks. Jadon Hazelwood is not that. So we've got to get as many playmakers on the field. Great point by Sam Pittman here. You saw what the offense looked like without Treylon Burks in the bowl game, and it was not pretty for the passing game. So let's kick it over to Sam Pittman, talking about the receiver depth there in Fayetteville and getting Malik Hornsby some extra looks at other positions in spring camp.
I think the biggest question mark, at least offensively, would be the wide receiver room. What are we going to do? I think we have some talent there. I think we have some young talent there. But if you look at our bowl game, without Burks, we didn't have a lot of productivity in the throwing game. Now, part of it was second half. We ran for around 300 yards. I get that. But we've got to develop that room. I still think we need to go in the portal to get another guy. But I think Hazelwood will be probably the leader of that group.
The country, take your pick. The most popular man on the team is the backup quarterback, and people are going to know kind of what kind of role is Malik Hornsby going to play this year. What are you all going to try to is it going to be different packages, or what's the plan for him going forward?
Well, I think certainly we've got to give him an opportunity to win the job, which we're doing that. The second thing, we've kind of almost restructured our practice so Malik can, get some wide receiver type looks, maybe some him and KJ on the field at the same time, whether he be out wide or whether he's in the box. I think he has too much talent to be on the sideline. Now, with that said, I think he needs every 2 rep that he can get at quarterback. So we kind of restructured it where it's not 1s, 2s, 3s, it's 1, 3, 2s, so we can get him some wide receiver type look, him and KJ on the field at the same time with the 1s, then have the rest with the 3s out at practice, and then him take all the 2s at quarterback. So we cannot afford not to look at him because of his speed and his athletic ability to get the ball in his hands and be sitting on the sideline just in case he doesn't win the quarterback job. We've got to be prepared to get him and help so he can help us win games.
Now, speaking of Treylon Burks, of course, Arkansas fans, you remember this well, but, last season, credit Kendall Browse, he found a lot of unique ways to get Burks the ball, and that included a lot of sweeps, a lot of, even at times, coming out of the backfield, a la Debo Samuel that we're seeing. Now you're understanding why you're seeing these Treylon Burks, Debo comparisons among draft analysts. But, I think Malik Hornsby can come in and fill in some of those responsibilities that we had Burks doing with the sweeps, with the running out of the backfield, and just, I mean, he may arguably be the fastest player on Arkansas's roster, and it would be silly to just have that guy on the bench the entire time. And look at it this way. I mean, I know Sam Pittman's not out here saying this, but if you get Malik Hornsby and KJ Jefferson on the field at the same time, there's nothing to say that KJ Jefferson can't be the receiver on a reverse or a trick play. I mean, hell, I can imagine KJ Jefferson being, in a unique situation, beating in the back of the end zone is almost like a tight end type prospect. He's got the build to do that. So this would just add flexibility, something else for SEC defenses to fixate on and have to prepare for. So I love to see this, but on the flip side here, we also got to consider the fact that if we got our backup quarterback taking reps at receiver, that doesn't give me a ton of confidence that the coaching staff is completely satisfied with what the team's got to work with a receiver. And hell, we just had Sam Pittman here saying we're going to have to utilize the transfer portal to add some depth to that position group. So just something to keep in mind here as we're a couple weeks away from the conclusion of Arkansas spring